Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and greetings to everyone. Okay, so today I'm going to present our paper on the topic of the influences of online learning factors on open distance learning satisfaction in mathematics by using a logistic regression analysis. It is for ICASREMS April 2022. Okay, so before I move on, let me a little bit introduce our group members. So my name is Mohammad Hafiz, and I have 4 members in our group, which is Nurul Husna, Wan Hayati, Farawaida, and we are from Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Sciences, UiTM Perak branch Tapah campus. Okay, so my presentation will be based on these 4 outline. So I will begin with the introduction part and a little bit on literature review, and followed by the methodology, the result and discussion, and also the conclusion part. Okay, so we begin with the introduction part. So as we know, since 2019, the COVID-19 virus has spread worldwide. So it began from China, but now it is everywhere. So it changed our lifestyle completely. So before this, we are free to do anything, but now we have to wear face masks every day. We need to reduce face-to-face interaction, which is such as meeting, lepak mamak, and also it also happened for the students where most of the time they will have online session, work from home, which is a new thing for most of the workers and also the employer, online market, online business, and everything is online, and also online class and many more. This is a new norm for everyone, and also it happened to our student. Okay, so a university worldwide was totally closed since 2020, and all the university members need to find alternative way in order to deliver the knowledge. So that means a student needs to learn even though they have a pandemic COVID-19. Okay, so according to Shivangi 2020, educational units are struggling to find options to deal with this challenging situation. Yes, of course, we have to make students to adapt with the new system, and also the lecturer to learn the new technology as fast as they could. So most challenging subject is mathematics. So because if we look at the traditional way of learning mathematics, the lecturer will give a talk and chalk where the lecturer will explain the theory and the student will try to understand, and then with a little bit of examples, students will understand the concept or the topics. And then next, the student will have to do exercise, and if they have a problem, they will find the lecturer during the class to help them to solve the question. This is, however, during this pandemic, it is a major turnaround now. It has to be a student-centered, or maybe some people call it a flipped classroom, or many more. So student has to be more active. They have to do their own exercise. They have to explore the notes, whether from their lecturer or they need to find it online. So it is a little bit challenging to our student and to the lecturers. However, we have been in this situation for about almost 3 years. We have already 3 years, and slowly both parties, students and lecturer, and also the university has adapted this concept of open and distance learning. Okay, this study we want to aims to identify the online learning factor that influence on open distance learning satisfaction in mathematics. Okay, so the data is collected from diploma student at UiTM Tapah, and the satisfaction among students should be taken into consideration in order to design the online course and building online environment to ensure students with an effective learning environment. So that means if we want to implement this online class for the rest of the time, that means after the pandemic, we also want to implement the open and distance learning. We need to understand what students want, and also how do we create the environment so that students will be comfortable and they will learn effectively. Okay, so the finding of this research is to contribute to the existing knowledge through a new insight into determine factor that influence student satisfaction in mathematics course through the open and distance learning approach, so ODL lah. So let's move to the methodology part. So for the methodology part, a convenience of a sample of 336 students from three faculties of UITM Tapah participate in this study. So we have FSKM, Accounting, and also Faculty of Science. So we use a Google form to create the questionnaire, and we utilize it as the data. Okay, it is as suggested by Azhar et al. Okay, so we distribute the data by using online materials, which are the WhatsApp or Telegram, since we are still at the endemic restriction. Okay, so here the dependent variable is the ODL satisfaction. Meanwhile, the independent variable in the study are the online learning readiness, self-directed learning technologies, internet and tools, skills and acceptance, and also motivation for learning. Okay, for the independent variable, all in the interval scale measurement with level 1 assigned as strongly agree, 2 as agree, 3 as neutral, 4 disagree, and also 5 is the strongly disagree. Okay, we can see the framework as this one. So we have 5 independent variables here. So dependent is ODL satisfaction. So we have self-directed learning, technology, internet and tools, skill acceptance, motivation for learning, and also online learning readiness. Okay, these are the description of the variable in the study. So you can see that the dependent variable is ODL. So it is a nominal scale. So the level of variable will be not satisfied or satisfied, and all the independent variable is satisfied. Okay, so readiness, self-directed technology as in the framework. So it is in the interval for 1 to 5. Okay, so the data will be collected by using the Google form, and then we analyze it by using a logistic regression to achieve the objective of this study. So we have the procedure as the first one. We have to do the classification table. It is concerned to look at the proportion of cases that have been correctly classified. So the classification table indicate how many cases where the observed value of the dependent variable were 1, 2, or 0 were correctly predicted. Okay, in ideal model, all cases will be on the diagonal, and the overall percent correct will be 100% based on Hausmer and Lemsau 2000. The overall percentage should be higher than 80%. And then the next procedure is by using model chi-square test. So the overall significance is tested by using the model chi-square test, which derive from the likelihood of observing the actual data under the assumption that the fit model is accurate, and the p-value is compared to a significant level 0.05 to determine whether the overall model is significant or not, based on also by Osmer and Lemsau. Okay, so that will be the methodology. So we have we are using the logistic regression, and we have two analysis procedure lah. We start with classification table and then model chi-square test. Okay, so for the result in discussion, so the first one is the classification table. So the results are generated as all predicted variables and include as displayed in table 1. So you can see that from table 1. So these are the predicted variables. It's found that by adding all predictors, the model accuracy increased from 75.9% to 86.6%. So it considered that the model is good at 99.8% of the questions were correctly classified. It means that 95.3% of students was correctly classified as satisfied with ODL group, while 59.3% student was correctly classified as not satisfied with the ODL group. So it's more students that satisfied with the ODL group. Okay, so next one is the model chi-square. Based on table 2, here is your table 2, omnibus test of model coefficient of logistic regression. So based on this table, this study obtained the chi-square statistic with 32.818 with the degree of freedom df 8 and its p-value less than the significant level 0.05, and it satisfied the model fitted requirement. So it also explained that the online learning factors have significant influence on ODL satisfaction in mathematics. As a result, the logistic regression model has in this study was significant and also meaningful. Lepas tu, if you look at the table 4, so this is our table 3. So the table of logistic regression analysis. Okay, so these are the results. So the child likelihood ratio. So the result found that the readiness, self-directed learning, skill and acceptance and motivation has significant influence on ODL satisfaction in mathematics, except for technology, internet, and tool factors. It means that each additional increase of one level in readiness is associated with an increasing the student satisfaction level towards ODL in learning mathematics by 7.052 more times satisfied. In addition, each additional increase of one level in self-directed learning, the student were 1.8718 more satisfied with ODL in learning mathematics. Furthermore, when one level in motivation for learning is raised, it identified that the student were 1.617 more times satisfied with the ODL. And also, this study also discovered that the odd ratio of both technology, internet tool, and skills and acceptance were less than 1. This means that each additional increase of one technology, internet, and also and also associate with 0.31% decrease in the odds of satisfaction per ODL. Meanwhile, for skill and acceptance, each additional increase of one level was associated with a 0.33% decrease in the odds of satisfaction towards the ODL. Okay, so that will be our result and discussion. So we can see that students are satisfied with the readiness, self-directed learning, skill and acceptance, and also motivation learning. Only technology and internet, maybe because they have been familiar with this technology most of the time. So most of the students already have their online or smart phone. Right. So for the conclusion part, as the conclusion, this study disclosed the readiness, self-directed learning, skill and acceptance, and motivation, which has significant influence on ODL satisfaction in mathematics, except for technology, internet, and tool factor. So it's revealed that readiness, self-directed learning, and motivation for learning will highly influence the ODL satisfaction in mathematics. However, technology, internet, and tool skills and skill and acceptance had little reduction in ODL satisfaction in learning mathematics. So it is hoped that this information obtained in this study will help educators to concern about the factors that need to be improved in order to sustain the successful in ODL, particularly in mathematics. So with that, I end my presentation. So thank you very much for listening.